Welcome back. We've done a little bit of review over going over the Google applications last week, the first week of the year, the calendar year. Now we still want to do just a brief review. We got started with Google Sheets last year, and then we had the Christmas break. Now I want to go further, look into it again for review, and then we'll be moving on. Google Sheets is a powerful tool and you can do so much with it, but many people get lost with that. And so, what we want to first do though is look at this page. If you go to Google Sheets, and from there, you can see that there's many things that are available. We've got all of the things that I've already created in the past. We've got our typical Google menu up here. What I want us to be able to do though is start a new page. And you can see down here in the bottom right hand corner, you have your plus sign. There's other ways to open up a new Google Sheet, and I'm not going to say that this is the only way, but I can then go up here and choose a template, or I can just create a new spreadsheet. And that's what we want to do is just create a new spreadsheet. So if I can have everybody open up and create a new spreadsheet, like I said, there's many different ways you can do this, and you have to give it time to open up. You can see everything was grayed out. We've gone through and we've looked at the menu items. We've talked about how you can sit there and you do things in the columns. Going up and down is a column, such as I've highlighted column F, or rows. The rows are numbered and they go crossways. That's row 1, row 5, things like that. Typically, across the top here in the columns, you will put your headings of the data that you're putting in there. For example, I might sit there and say date, and then we start with the date. I might sit there and say, breakfast. Lunch. Snack. Dinner. Okay, so this is how I can maybe keep track of the meals that I'm eating each day. I could keep track of things such as the calories I'm consuming, the amount of sugar, things like that. So we're going to go up here and we're going to talk daily meals. All right, now I want y'all to follow along. I want you to create this also. So back over here, we can also, just like what we do with our Google Docs, we can go in there and we can change things. So we can go in here and say we want to change our font size. We might want to make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. Bold it, italicize, change your font style. You could go Times New Roman or Calibri. There's many different things you can do up here, but we've got that much. So now let's go over here and let's start putting in some dates. So this is our new year. So let's start with our new year. Let's go January 01, comma 2021. Now I need to put a space on that, but that's kind of interesting. What I typed in and what it shows is two different things. Kind of neat. I like that. Now, if you notice, we've got this little black, dark blue box in the lower corner. And if I hover over it, I get some different symbols. I get little crosshairs like I'm looking through a scope. I can have my pointer, and I can also have a hand. We're going to start with the crosshair. Now, if I drag it down and release it, it automatically adds the dates. This is a neat function that you can get with your Google Sheets and other spreadsheets also. It's real convenient when you know, hey, I've got this that I want to be putting in. It's also, you can do it with other numbers. So if I go 1, enter 5, enter 10, then again, I highlight those 3. Then I grab that little square and drag it down, release. Well, did not do what I wanted it to do. Typically, it'll just sit there and it'll count the same way you have. I've got something I'm going to have to adjust. I assume it added a formula in there and it's not the way I wanted. So let's try this again. If I go 1, 2, let's try it again. There we go. So I did 1, 2, 3. I'll play with that in the past, and it may be something that Excel is better with, that you can go in there and go 2, 4, 6. And this is a great opportunity for you to play with it also. There we go. Not bad. You can also, I believe, do letters. A, B, C. Again, notice how I'm highlighting the ones I want to incorporate and drag it down. Now notice again, that one that time it copied it. It's really good about doing that if I do just A. Let's see what happens here. They're all A's. Okay, we played with that. You can continue to play with that. Maybe you have some answers and some solutions that I overlooked. You are welcome to share that with me. Now, this is where we can start putting in our information. We can sit there and say, okay, I had oatmeal. Actually, I eat a lot of oatmeal. I really enjoy that. And so I'm going to drag that down. Then I had pancakes. And then cereal. Now, cereal, I had a couple of days there, so I can drag that down. Then I had oatmeal again. Now, you can see, oh, well, I've already gone past today's date, which is the 11th. So I'm going to take this out. There we go. Now for lunch, it's many different things. I tend to eat that a lot. Sandwich. So I want you to start going in there and put in what you can remember that you may have eaten. And let's fill this out. Another thing I'd like to share with you is you can also do what's called freeze. And there it is, freeze under view. I want to just freeze the top row. Now, again, this is row. I could do columns. I want to freeze the top row. Now watch what happens when I scroll up and down. I can still see my title up here at the top row. This is a valuable tool that really helps people. So I want you to freeze the top row. Yes, top row. Now, we could also freeze the top column. If we had this information going all the way over here, and I meant the left column, again, we could highlight it. We could go to View. We could go down to, freeze. And then I could say I want to freeze 1 or 2 columns. I could even freeze up to a certain set. So let's say I had A through D that I wanted to freeze. I can now go to View, and I could go to Freeze, and I could sit there and say I want to freeze up to. So, something for you to play with. Another thing, though, that's a telltale sign, you can see this thick gray line right here that runs across. That tells me that that's been frozen, that I've used the freeze function, and I'm able to now go through there and scroll up and down and keep track of this. Again, very helpful tool that not many people are aware of. So we're starting to use the functionality. We haven't done any of the math yet, and we may start doing the math soon. The key here is knowing how to do some of those tools such as the freeze. Now, another thing I like to do is use grid lines. just because using grid lines, if nothing else, it just gives me where I can keep information separated. I can see it better. These dinosaur eyes of mine just start having a hard time seeing things. Now, again, I can go through view and then go to grid lines, or I can come over here and add borders. And I'm going to go to borders. Now with the borders, there's many things you can do. I like to just click on all borders, and typically I'm done with it. However, with borders, you can come over here and you can change it up. Maybe you want to use the dots. Maybe you want to use the dashes. There's many different ones that you can. You can use a thick line. That really stands out. Maybe you want to use a thinner line. There's options for all of you. Border color. You can even change the color. Maybe you want more of a gray so it doesn't stand out as harsh or as stout. And then go in there and do things such make other changes. It's so much you can do with that. Just understand you don't want to distract from your information. You want to enhance or improve your information. So don't do something that is overwhelming. However, another thing I've found is sometimes I'll put in information here that I don't want. So I've got this border here, but I don't want it down after this point. What I could do is go in here and I could say I want to remove it. And that's clear borders. And now it's clear. Oh, well, but actually I took the line over here on the left-hand side out and I still wanted that line. Multiple ways that could be done. I could highlight here and say, I want borders on the left side. Or I can highlight here and say, I want borders on the right side. So we're going to leave it where it is. I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to look through these and I can see that's a left border, but right now I'm wanting a right border. Same here. I can click on this individual cell, go here and say, I want a bottom border. Now I've filled in all those boxes that I wanted to still have something going on. All right, people, that should take care of today's assignment. I need a screenshot of this emailed to me. Make sure that you complete all of your work. If you have questions, let me know. Those at home, I hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed the snow day, everybody. Hope you all got to have some fun with that. But now it's time to get back to work. Make sure you respect yourself, respect the people around you. Wear your mask at all times. It's for your safety, the safety of the people around you, and the safety of your family. Take care. Hope to see you soon.